Do you know who I am?
But
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
those urgent things you have.
People know me.
Listen, big deal.
At least you believe.
You got another problem. We're gonna always figure out the truth. Always.
This is so nuts. I mean, listen to what you're saying. It's paranoid delusion. It's really sad. It's pathetic.
Am I? Or am I so sane that you just blew your mind?
That is the weirdest thing you have ever said.
It's the Al Travis Show, and we are so lucky to have our next two guests on. And they are Nancy Nelson and Don Shelby. They do this thing called Love Letters at the Chanhassen, and we'll get to that thing in a minute. Don, Nancy, thank you very much for coming on the program.
Our pleasure, Al.
Thank you for letting us be here. How are you? We haven't seen you in, was it last year? Maybe even 2 years. Thanks for having us back.
I do appreciate you guys coming on. My wife adores you, Nancy. I think I can say that without ruining it. She takes
usually
friends
it's Don that wives adore.
We're going to talk about the Don Shelby fiasco that is Minnesota. But first, Nancy, so my wife has been going to the shows, right? Chanhassen's a wonderful sponsor of the program here. And so my wife goes to the shows, and she says she can't wait to have you there to greet. How often do you greet at the Chanhassen?
Oh, you're so good. Tell your wife, what is your wife's name?
Stephanie.
Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie. I started as the greeter MC here in 2019. And in the big room that Stephanie comes to, where we do our Broadway shows, we do 8 shows a week. And I always work 5 and usually 6 a week. So I'm in here 5 and sometimes 6 days a week.
Wow. And okay, well, then that's why she runs into you as much as she does. But you're a big fan favorite. As far as the Don Shelby thing goes, I'm just going to be completely honest.
Oh, dear.
I am tired of everybody raising the bar all the time. So Don's on here, Mr. Shelby's on here talking about all the great things you guys do, and I love it, and you like the guy. I get it. And now he's in my head as this Mr. Perfect guy. And then I get a story like in the Star Trib, was it a month ago? He's just out there planting trees and saving the planet. Don, let the rest of us bring the bar down just a little bit. Bring it down so I get up and get dressed, and I made my day, and Don's out there, I haven't saved the planet enough. You got to settle down, Don. You got to give some room.
Do you know what I like best about what you said, Al? That you told me I am now living rent-free in your head.
It's so true.
Al, listen, welcome to my world. I'm here at the dinner theater, and of course, then Love Letters is coming up, and I'm being utterly charming, wearing all my sequins. Hi, how are you? Welcome to the theater. And people boom right up to me and say, are you doing a show with Don Shelby? Tell me about Don Shelby. Is Don Shelby and I stand there feeling like a cardboard cutout because everybody wants to talk about Don Shelby.
Okay, you know what, Nancy? You've become more personal. You're more of a person now than you ever have been. I see the jealousy in your eyes. I'm living with it. I love that. Now, I got some background story in this Love Letters thing, and Nancy, if you don't mind, and maybe you don't like talking about it, but I'm under the impression you did this show with your husband from years ago. Is that true?
I did, Al, yes. And it's fine to talk about Billy. Okay. Thank you. I had been on stage at the Old Dog Theater right out of high school for 20 years. For several years, acted opposite Nick Nolte. And years then move ahead. And Don Stoltz, owner of the Old Dog Theater, asked Bill and me to do Love Letters. And we did it together for a couple of seasons. And as a husband and wife, and a lot of husbands and wives in the celebrity world have done it together, it was particularly rich. It was one of the loveliest experiences we had. Now, move forward, Billy had to leave. And working here, Michael Brindisi had continued to say, we ought to get you back on stage. And what would you like to do? And I said, I really love Love Letters. But then back in my head, it was, but that's Billy and me.
Yeah.
And the more I thought about it, I said, I'd like to do Love Letters. And Michael said, okay, who with? Well,
Wow, you Mr. Perfect. Yeah.
But no, so much more than that. Don and Billy had worked together for decades.
Okay.
They were good friends.
Oh, that's cool.
Don, always a good friend to me. When Billy passed away,
Okay.
Don was the first one through the door. Don
nice.
Did Billy's memorial service.
Oh.
So to go back in there, I was kind of afraid. The first rehearsal was kind of bumpy for me, but I knew I was in good hands. I wanted to do something, and I wanted to do it with Don Shelby.
Don, do you remember when are you a play guy? I mean, was that something you grew up doing and it wasn't a stretch for you? And when they said, no, it's with Nancy and it's love letters, which your friend did with her, what were your thoughts when they first cracked that open?
Al, I've had some wonderful compliments in my life. I've had wonderful honors in my life, and I cherish them all. But I have to tell you that the greatest honor that I ever got was the phone call from Nancy, because I knew that she and Billy had done the show. Yeah. And when she said, I want to do it again, and I want to do it with you and you only, then that was, that's the kind of breathtaking love that you just don't experience very often.
Well, back to, were you a play guy? Was it the added stuff besides this play, but had you done theater before, and then were you like, now I got to go do theater too?
Don was an actor before he was a newscaster, and I'll let him fill in the rest, but I have to tell them this part. Okay. He couldn't wait. When he retired from anchoring news, the first thing he did was Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Don Shelby in the Rocky Horror Picture Show? No way.
The fishnet stockings and the stiletto heels, and then you can tell them your favorite part of the costume. Go ahead, tell everybody the favorite part of the costume.
The favorite part of the costume, I worked with a producer and director, and at the closing scene, I had worn the fishnets and the high heels, and that was a good gag. But the final scene was where I had to address the audience and then turn and leave the stage. And I said to the director, we could punch this up a little bit. He said, how? And I said, what if I'm wearing ass chaps? And he said, what? Don Shelby, the television authoritative.
Oh, no way. You did not.
Are you going to wear ass chaps? And I said, well, of course. If it's going to be good for the show, let's do the thing. And so for 90 nights, people got to see my ass.
I live in constant fear that at curtain call one night, he's going to turn around and show us part of him. It's in my brain all the time.
No. There's got to be video of this somewhere. This whole Rocky Horror. This has got to be on a DVD
you need to
somewhere.
Know more about Don, because Don. Well, you'll tell them the history, but Don, a tremendous fan of Mark Twain, and he decided he wanted to do a Mark Twain show. Don gets into full prosthetic makeup, takes him 4 or 5 hours. You think he is Mark Twain from the pictures we've seen, and he does a one-man show as Mark Twain.
Wow. I tell you, there's a lot going on. I've got to go to break, and at some point, the Chanhassen's going to want us to talk about actual love letters, so we'll do that on the other side. Yeah. They bring these things up to me, so we'll talk about that on the other side. Wow, we've got them. Don Shelby, Nancy Nelson on the Al Travis Show.
Braver Angels Minnesota is part of a national movement that brings together conservatives, liberals, independents, and others to restore trust, respect, and goodwill in politics. We seek not to eliminate our differences, but rather deal with them head on, with respect and understanding. We do not try to change people's views, but how they view the other side. There will always be differences. Braver Angels Minnesota believes the best way forward is to change how we deal with those differences. Join the civil conversation at mn.braverangels.org.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
Easily offended? The Al Travis Show is not for you. The Al Travis Show. All sides are welcome.
Lucky to have them. We've got Nancy Nelson and Don Shelby with us today. We're talking about love letters. Well, we haven't talked about it, but we're going to. Love letters happens at the Chanhassen. How long have you two been doing this? And will one of you give me the background on the show? What does it mean, love letters? What am I seeing? Is it a play? Is it just reading back and forth, Don?
Well, the first thing I think I'm going to tell you that this is the 6th or 7th time that we have done this together, because we do it twice a year. We do it in the fall and in the late winter.
Around Valentine's Day.
In Valentine's Day, yeah, in February.
If I can, September 3rd through the 21st this year. Let's get that. September 3rd, which is coming up to the 21st, and then
Yes.
February 4th through the 22nd. There.
Yes. And I'll let Nancy explain some of the background, but I need to tell this audience so that no one is misled in what they expect to see. Because if they've been to Chanhassen dinner theaters before, you'll see these gigantic choreographed operations, beautiful sets, wonderful music, incredible performers. But this is an intimate two-person show, and people have seen two-person shows before where they interact, and these people never talk to each other. They never interact. And one of the first rules of acting is that acting is reacting. You play off of someone's emotion. You mirror their emotions. You are playing to them. We never look at each other. We're sitting at two desks. Really? We're reading letters. We are now in our dotage. We're probably in our 70s. We're reading letters love letters that we've written to each other since we were 8 years old.
Wow.
And so the beginning of the show is we are very young people writing very young kind of letters and silly kinds of things. And then it gets very serious and life interrupts, and it gets very dramatic and very funny and very awful, and it's a mirror of life. And but I want people to know that it's not a standard kind of play that you would expect. We're not sitting reading the lines. Now, we are actually reading love letters. We are reading these love letters at desks. We're off book. We could easily. I mean, we have this all memorized.
Sure.
But it wouldn't be right to just say these love letters. We have to be reading the love letters, because that's the name of the show. And now, Nancy.
It's a beautiful show. The author was nominated for a Pulitzer Prize for writing it. We joined these kids, as Don says, they're children of great wealth. We joined them before World War II, about 1937. Yeah. And that's a very big part of the setting, the tremendous wealth they have and how it has removed them from real life in the world and what real people go through and suffer. And their kids, mom says to the little girl, write him a thank you note for your birthday present. And she does. And he writes back. And he writes back from grade school and says, will you marry me? And I will if you do. And then they write through summer camp and boarding school and college and dating and marriage and children. And as Don says, all of the ups and downs, people laugh so loud and then they cry. 50 years of anyone's life. Think about it.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. And it's just extraordinary. It's very emotional. It's delightful. It is meaningful. And one of the things, Don and I, when it's over with, we do a talk back. We come out and we sit down because everybody wants to meet Don. Here we go. Everybody wants to meet Don.
There you go.
There we go again. So we sit down, everybody meets Don, and we talk and chitty chat, and people ask us questions. And that is really a very fun part of what we do, getting to be close to the audience. But one of the things, Don, that they always say to us, because it is a particular age group that seems to come, I have letters that were written to me by my wife or my husband, and then they want to talk about the fact that I worry about my children who will have no shoe boxes full of letters anymore.
Things have changed.
People have a love affair with letters.
Yes. Yes.
Well, at an age group, I agree with you. At our age, we have them. We've saved them if you really like them. The rest are all on a phone somewhere.
Yeah.
Today's kids.
One thing I'll add to what Nancy is saying, that she is perfectly right in saying that these young people and most of their privileged existence is based on kind of an insularity. But the lie is put to that, because as their lives are revealed, they are not insulated from the pain.
No.
They are not insulated from the damage, and they are hurt throughout this, and how they try to survive the hurt
and lift each other up.
Yeah.
And through these decades, the only people we learn that they trust is the other. And time and again, they somehow save each other's life as they're writing these letters.
And they're not in a relationship, you see. They have separate marriages. They have gone on in their lives. They're living in different parts of the country. Sometimes they're different parts of the world. But at the same time, they cannot stop being with each other.
They're the only constant the other has, the only safety net for their whole life.
I love it. I can't wait for folks to go. Do me a favor. You got the split break here. And before you get back in February, let's get you back on September 3rd through the 25th. Chanhassen, chanhassendt.com. Go ahead.
Buy special promotion. Buy the first ticket. The second one is 50% off. That promotion's on now.
You are good at this. Okay, do that, and let's get you there September 3rd through the 21st, February 4th through the 22nd. Matinees, evenings are available. You got the big deal going on. It's Nancy Nelson, Don Shelby, and Love Letters. Don, I was giving you a hard time about your tree planting, and you mentioned a book everyone has to read. Can we just promote that quick? You have your favorite book in the tree world?
Yes, The Secret Life of Trees. It's by a man named Peter Volbein. And it is an unbelievable thing, and your life will change. I mean, your life will change when you'll never look at a tree again. And I'll just give you one little example.
Yep.
If, and I refer, as you saw in the article, I refer to trees as mothers. When the seeds and the fruits and the other trees that grow up around it is their babies. This science has proved this, that if one of the baby trees in the shadow of the mother is suffering, it will reach out and take the energy of the mother and nourish the sick tree, the sick baby.
There you go. Science
has proved that. Now, if trees do that, what do you think humans do?
Love that. Don, I got to go. Hard break. Love you both. Thank you for coming to the program. We'll get you back on.
This is wonderful, Al.
It's Love Letters. Go get your tickets today.
See?